Hey y'all, I'm Bandana Cheyenna.
Well, welcome. I saw you last night at your songwriter showcase. How was that?
That was amazing. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because I've never hosted a showcase at all, let alone one at CRS, but it was awesome to see the turnout and I just love lifting up the artists I work with and write for, so it was just great to hear all the songs in an intimate setting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And you had quite a few artist friends stop by and come out and support.
Yeah, it was great. We had Abby Anderson, Kylie Morgan, Sophia Scott, to name a few. But yeah, it was great. 4 p.m. till 11 p.m. We were up there jamming, singing, having a great time.
Nice. That's what it's all about at CRS.
Yes.
So you got your start, maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but writing songs for other people.
Yes, that
And you
is right.
had a few that went pretty big.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, the first one that really went big is Austin by Dasha. That's still kind of my biggest one to date. But I also wrote Even Cowboys Cry with her for that first album that kind of broke her career. And then I wrote on Alexandra Kay's latest album, the title track Second Wind, and her first single off that album, Cupid's a Cowgirl. So yeah, I love like getting to know an artist and writing for the whole project. It's always a joy to write not only the upbeat stuff but also the deeper meaningful kind of tracks and really getting into the emotional heart of it all.
Yeah, for sure. How did you go from being a songwriter evolving into now, your own artist?
Well, it's kind of something I always had in the back of my mind, but for some reason I never truly believed I could. It wasn't until I signed my publishing deal 2 years ago and I started being in the room with artists every day that I started thinking, this is awesome. I love writing, but I have some songs that feel too me to give away. And I'm seeing all these artists really do it and go after it. And I realized I need to also step into that energy and bet on myself as an artist, not only a writer, because I think my story deserves to be told, and I have songs that deserve to see the light of day. So yeah, I kind of decided after writing for a couple of years that I wanted to go fully into this artist stuff, and share my story.
That's completely fair. So you do have a new project coming out, and you're actually in the middle of a series of a big project.
Yes. So, yes, this album that I'm working towards, the whole album is called The Artist's Pilgrimage. And it's kind of my story, but it also is bigger than me in a sense of it's telling the story of every artist, creative, and really person with a dream. Anyone who steps out of their steps out of the box to reach a bigger goal. And so this album is split into four projects because I think there's multiple parts on the journey of an artist. And this first part I just released in January is about the beginning. It's called The Dream. And so it kind of speaks to leaving home with nothing but a dream, not knowing if anything's going to happen, but really doing it for the love of the art. And then the second part that I'm working on rolling out right now is called the desert. And this is metaphorical in the sense that in every creative's journey or even entrepreneur, there's this part of the career where, you've spent all this time, money, you don't see the fruits of your labor yet. You don't know if it'll pay off in the long run. And so there's this dry spell of is something ever going to happen for me? You have all these doubts, there's highs and lows, and you're kind of just sitting there waiting for your big break. So that's what this next part of the journey is about.
I definitely relate to that, as I'm sure a lot of others can as well. So, a couple fun questions, real quick. If your music was an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
I love that. I think something kind of outlaw-esque, like Rocky Road,
Okay.
maybe like something with or moose tracks, because that makes me think of like country music and kind of being out there in the dusty desert. maybe a hint of caramel because I love caramel, but definitely some crunch in there, got the grit in there.
And what artist, if you could sit down with anybody, dead or alive, would it be?
Wow, that's a good question. I think probably Joni Mitchell. I'm a huge fan of the older folk music, and Joni, Bob Dylan, Stevie Nicks, they're all kind of idols of mine. So I would love to chat about how they've seen the industry change and what inspired some of their biggest songs and the music they, that movement they were part of in kind of that 60s, 70s era. I think that would be so cool to chat about.
Well, thank you for stopping and chatting with us today.
Thank you so
I wish you
much.
all the best.
Thank you.